So you have no watering system here at all? Nothing?
If you saw the film when I came here, I drilled a well, went 213 feet, got half a gallon a minute.
Yeah.
A half a gallon a minute is barely going to run a house with 7 kids.
Yeah.
There was no water for the orchard.
Yeah.
So I went to the woods, and the creator showed me how he does that without water. And I copied it. I'm just telling you, man, it's what's amazing is that we're not getting it. That we think that we can't do it. Because it's all around us, working really well. And it's very simple. It's not like rocket science. It's covering. It's wood chips laying on the ground, you don't move. Building up every year, consistent. You know what's so cool is happening here? You know how long it takes in nature to build 1 inch of topsoil? How long? 100 years.
Wow.
In nature to build 1 inch of topsoil.
Wow.
And I'm looking at what I have here, the depth, and I'm thinking like, man, this is so, because by bringing in mass, I'm speeding up this process huge. I got like a lot of inches, and I haven't been here that long, because I'm speeding up the process. So I'm gaining such momentum, which is so awesome.
The process by putting the wood chips
Volume. I'm bringing in a lot more volume.
Yeah.
See, in nature, needles and leaves do light covering. I'm bringing in like, truckloads. So I'm just speeding it up.
Is there any kind of mulch or that you shouldn't put in?
Thank you. These questions are so cool. You see, I was told in school, you can't use walnut, you can't use pine, you can't use cedar. Are you following me? And you've all been around the block and you've all heard that. But I asked the creator, you know what he told me? He says, I have no landfill off in the universe where I'm taking that stuff you can't use. That's a significant thought. And looking at my woods back here, you see in the front there's a lot of cedar trees, mostly cedars. And you see those big Douglas firs going up through the top of them that are really dark green.
Yeah.
They're not yellow. In the summertime when it gets really dry, the cedar trees flag, meaning the interior needles turn brown more than any tree out there. The first wind in the fall puts all that stuff on the ground. No one's raking it up. No one's hauling it off. And look how green the fir trees are. Here's what the creator showed me. The tannic acid in cedar is real. It's there. And it's not ideal for plants. But by the time nature has gone through the composting process, by the time that material gets to the root, tannic acid is no longer there. Nature's cleaned it up. I'm just telling you, nature's perfect and it deals with everything. So I'm a slow learner, so the creator tries to help me. So I get this truckload, 10-yard truckload of walnut wood chips, exclusively walnut wood chips, dumped at my place in Swim, which is desert. This is in August, no rain. So I have a 4.5 foot raised bed. You following me? Out of the top of this raised bed, a walnut went through that didn't break. Starts growing.
Oh my God.
In August, no rain, 4.5 feet raised bed. So I says, God, you have my attention. You have my attention. This shouldn't be happening. I'm watching this thing in October. It's 3 feet tall, bright green. My brother dug it up. It had 3 feet of roots. He went and planted his yard. He's got a walnut tree. And so I got that walnut is a very fine wood chip. Things grow quite well in it. I just love these examples that you get in nature that just refute all the lies. You can't argue with evidence. There was no water. It was 4.5 foot above grade, totally exposed to air, major raised bed, and thriving.
Wow.
It's just, it is wow. And again, it gets my attention. I understand now. I get it.
Say, I found these on the ground. Can I eat
You
them?
can, but you won't like it. They're not ripe, and they're going to be really bad.
Oh, well, there you go. There's the answer. That's why it
You're
was
welcome to
still
them,
on the
but
ground.
see, they fell off because see, nature does this thing in June called June drop, and they do a natural thinning process,
Oh.
and they thin themselves. But if you look how beautiful those are, in spite of the fact they're not, they look really nice. But it's just that the apples aren't going to be ripe for a lot of months, and so they're not there yet. Sorry.
Could you interrupt? Is that the tree knowing which ones just aren't coming along well enough?
Yeah. Again, nature. If you observe nature, really nothing's missing. It doesn't need our help. And again, if you show up where if you look at nature, no one shows up to work, ever, and everything does quite well for the last 6,000 years of recorded human history. You know, it's so when you get it, it's so simple, so obvious. Like, come on, wake up. So my sense is for me to learn from it. Like, I'm the new guy on the block. I'm the learner, not it. I need help, not you. So nature showed me to do it. I want to copy it because it works. Hair dropped. No. Now you can look at these little trees. You can look at the number of apples on these we're coming up to. You know. Yeah. And you can understand why the branches are bent over. You know, come on, give me a break, man. Now I want to show you gardeners something that's an awesome way to extend your plantings. You see that cabbage is over my garden, over that red cabbage? In that row were all these red cabbage plants, too thick. So I bare rooted them. I put them out here under my trees, and they totally wilted, looked like they were going to die. But look how nice they're doing, under my trees. And they will go the whole summer here with absolutely no water, ever. Good. Look real good. And what the creator showed me, which is really awesome, I'm going to share with you because I just got this year, is that when I go to collect seed, these are the plants that I'm going to collect it from, because by moving them, they were stressed and they overcame, so they're a lot stronger than the ones that didn't go through that. And they're going to have a more powerful seed. I'm just telling you, man, I so love the creator, because when you're paying attention, he opens up and shows you these amazing, and look how beautiful they're doing. And I'll never water all summer. And it's so awesome. And you see, out of that one planting, I get 2 crops. This was behind because it got stunted, got stressed. And so instead of them coming on at once, I get these breaks. So it's like planting twice, but not planting twice. Just moving them. Yeah, is that kind of a dense arrangement? Look at the apples on this little tree.
I heard of.
It's just, I'm telling you, man, it's just like amazing.
This is amazing.
And this is without fertilizer and water, you guys.
There's got to be a dozen or more on this tree.
This tree's like 3 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
So you remember over there in that garden, all that kale we had? You see all the kale in my trees over here? I thinned the row.
Oh wow.
And plugged them over here. So I want you all to look at this density that's going on here. And I want you to realize that if I had the time and energy, you see how dense this planting is right here in the middle of my orchard? You see over there all those potatoes growing under my trees? I could plant this entire space in this density with no issues. And you see all that romaine lettuce? That came out of a row that I thinned. You see over there, that romaine lettuce is taking its place. You see how thick that is? Well, I got to thin that. You see up the front, I've already given some to somebody. So that's going to go somewhere out here. And out of the same planting, I get this incredible longevity. Where everybody else is just throwing them away. I'm just telling you, man, it's huge. You see these little tiny zucchini plants? You see, they're already blooming, ready to have fruit. Because they can't help it. They're eating well. They just, you see, I'll have all this stuff just strewn out in my orchard. Look at those beautiful shallots over there. Those onions, look, that's shallots. Look how thick they are. Look at the onions here. Look at my parsley. It's just like, yeah. And I'm not doing anything. This isn't being watered or fertilized. It's just stuffing wood chips and leave. It's so cool.
So you just
Put a plant. I stuck these. I took out my garden, so I stressed them. Put them here. You can see the outer leaves are yellow, but look at the new ones coming on. You see one even died there, and so I'm
But did you start them with seeds?
I started them in the garden, and so I moved them out here by stressing them. They're stronger. And you see out here, I'll never water, and they're not my way.
Are we still on 8 inches of wood chips here?
Oh, it's a lot more than that.
Okay. You just keep loading them on?
Yeah, just again, investing in the bank. At what point is that not a good idea?
How often do you do that?
Oh, that's a great question. I put this stuff down here 14 years ago, 16 inches deep. And I'm just now starting to put it back. This year is the first time I had 16 years ago, because that deep, I had a good cover. And you know what was cool? I put it right up to my tree trunk, 16 inches deep. And if you've been to school, you know you can't do that.
Yeah.
Again, track with me. In nature, in the forest, when the wind blows, needles and leaves bank against tree trunks because that's where they stop. No one rakes them away, and they're good. And they're telling you can't put up against a tree trunk. Could you imagine the irritant to try to make a little space around your tree trunk, keep the woodchips away, let all kinds of weeds and garbage fall into? I mean, these things they tell us are so maddening, so labor intensive, and have absolutely no viability or example in nature. Wood chips are full of air. How can they hurt the tree trunk? What are they going to do? It's not dirt. You're not suffocating anything. Again, the stuff they tell us has no sense, no logic. And because we're trained not to think, we just, okay, we'll do. Come on! It's stupid! And it's a lot of work to be stupid. I wish you guys, if you're close, in October, these apples literally blow everyone's mind because every single one has a unique flavor that totally flips people out. Usually when you buy apples in the store, they all taste the same, bland nothing. Everyone here, people say, I can't believe this. They just had one before. This is so amazing. This one here's from Japan. I can't even pronounce it. It's T-S-U-G-U-R-A. It's like, incredible, amazing. And every one has a unique, totally awesome flavor. God's not boring. He made things really creatively neat, you know. And it's so awesome to have all this variety and incredible senses of flavor and enjoyment because that's the design. That's how it is. So you guys come over here. There's a few raspberries left. I want you to sample them because they're really good. They're on both sides, so get over there and eat raspberries.
Have you ever heard of an apple called ambrosia?
No.
No? Okay. It's New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite apples in the whole world.
If you live closer, I'd tell you to cut a little piece off your tree,
Yeah.
and I'd graft it into mine, and I'd have it.
I would kill to come back here. I'm hoping to move here. I'm hoping to
This,
move
this,
into Washington.
this is a beautiful, the peninsula is awesome.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you have a mountain range to the
God's
ocean.
country.
I'm 10% of the property where I live is private.
How did you discover this place after LA?
God. It was awesome. I bought this in 1976 as an investment. Never thought I'd live here.
Really? Oh, really?
Yeah, I
You
bought
only meant to buy the land.
bought it as an investment. Save money.
Interesting.
You didn't know the plan.
Had no idea the plan.
Is that yours too? This open field?
Yeah. And those sheep out there can't get the grass down because it's too thick. It grows too well.
Are the sheep yours?
No.
Paul, is there any wood chips that are, that you prefer over any other, or is it pretty much the same?
Love them all.
I find they all work. Now some have different, like alder breaks down quicker. Some things break down quicker than others. But man, they're all awesome. And I love the needles and the pine needles. They tell you can't use pine. Are so beneficial. There's so much green in them, you know. And see, when I was in Los Angeles, my parents grew all of our food too. We had strawberries, and the slugs ate them all.
Yeah.
You know how
Yeah.
you know how I overcame that as a kid, and where I started getting this. We had a pine tree in our yard. My mom had us rake up the needles because they're in the grass. So I put them around my strawberries, and I found that the ground stayed damp, which didn't happen in LA. The strawberries were up off the ground; they weren't muddy when I watered. And the slugs wouldn't crawl across those pokey needles because it stuck them. And I had awesome strawberries, untouched by slugs, that were totally clean and thriving in nothing but pine needles. It was awesome.
Brilliant.
I'm just telling you, again, it's so obvious when you get it. Like if you notice, the most common statement you hear, well, that makes sense. Are you following me? What I'm telling you is so obvious. So it's not racking your brain trying to wrap around it. It's so like, duh, of course. Like, yeah, really? What's up with us? Why didn't we see this? Because it's so obvious.
What kind of slugs do you get? We get brown ones.
I get the brown ones. I get the black ones. And I love them because if I have time, I give them my chickens. My chickens enjoy them. But I leave them in my yard because they never touch my
Your
plants.
chickens eat the slugs?
Oh yeah, they love them.
Oh my God, that's so brilliant. Really? Oh, well, there's like a gazillion of them.
We have a lot of spiders.
But you'll find when you're growing good food, they'll never touch your food. They'll go elsewhere.